Hello guys, Dama2 here, and we're going to be starting off our finest hour solo run here. Before I hop into it, there's a few things I want to show you guys. Got a few planes here I want to do a showcase with. First one we have over here, this is a torpedo bomber that I developed. It's meant to be significantly cheaper than the one me and Heitzmeister kind of co-authored. It's a little cheaper, still gets very, very good speed, and it has a single large torpedo. It's also armed with 4 of the autocannons, just to give it a little defense in case it needs it. Very happy with the design. It's been performing pretty well. And honestly, I would probably say that having this thing is probably better than torpedo boats because it's a hell of a lot faster. And, well, it's pretty well armed to do what it does. I should note, though, that there was some spin block shenanigans going on to try to get the torpedo centered along the middle of the plane here, because I did not want to do another double block plane. I think that's understandable, though. I think most people would be okay with that. Yeah, that's not a Stormbreaker. That's the in-game torpedo bomber. Next over here, we have the Sparta Mark II. This is a dive bomber configuration that I came up with. Another design that I've been pretty happy with the performance. It's got decent speed. The propeller on the front of this, it's just some decorations on a spin block, nothing special. But we got these twin autocannon mounts down here under the plane. They're on 2-axis turrets, just to give it a little bit of defense should it come under attack by enemy planes. And we got these large AP and HE frag bombs. They've done very well in testing. Been very happy with them. I think that it needs more decorations, but I'm not entirely sure what. I want to try to find some kind of art to put on the wings of some of these. I don't know. But yeah, it's done very good in testing, so very happy with it. This over here is essentially the same plane, but it's just set up with different behavior, and it's designed to be a fighter bomber, and it's got these unguided dumbfire rockets. Just so you guys can. Oops. Okay, I gotta bring the UI up here so I can show you guys. Nothing too unusual here. Just gonna unload all these rockets on a target. And it's got 8 of those, 4 on either side. Same armament as the other one over there. I did have to make some adjustments to it, though, because the rockets kept going for parts for like the rear of the ship, so I had to put an aim point selection card in there to make sure that it hit more vital areas. Oh, I forgot to note that the dive bomber is a little bit more expensive, but that's probably because it's carrying the 2 large bombs there. And this right here, this is something that's brand new. It is a few experiments kind of rolled into one thing here. This is the Stormbreaker Light Fighter. Stormbreaker is a song by Hammerfall. Pretty good band. I got to see him play live. Highly recommend it. And this guy is very, very fast too. 109 meters per second. That is not something to sneeze at there. It's pretty heavily armed. We have 8 of the 60mm autocannons. They are on 2-axis turrets that I have here in the wings. We have some appliques to cover the control surfaces here in the back, just to make sure that explosives don't knock them out. Yeah, not really a whole lot to it. And another thing that I really thought was pretty cool about this design is I was able to get this all with one custom jet engine for the most part. And then we get this little engine in here, but that's just for the prop here at the front. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with it. It's done very, very well in my testing. It can go toe-to-toe with Zeros very well, and I've been pretty proud of this. And same as always, if you guys want any of these uploaded to the workshop, just let me know down in the comments, please. Okay, so some of you might recognize this guy from my first solo Ashes run. It's the Firestorm Heavy Bomber. I have reworked it for Finest Hour. Basically ripped out all the detection. I switched over the fuel engines in this here and this pod out here to small custom jet engines. It's performed pretty well, and I'll be honest, doing a campaign that's World War II based just did not feel right unless I had something resembling a B-17 bomber. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this guy into it. And it's still got the same bomb loadout, except I went and added some magnets. It can shoot down enemy fighters with these autocannons. I have tested this personally, and it seemed like it was doing pretty well with that. It gets good speed. Don't mind that that's wrong. It was getting over like 100 some odd meters a second. I think it was like 108. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it was up to. But yeah, it's been performing extremely well. I think it'll do pretty good for our purposes here in this campaign. Alright, well, I guess we'll go ahead and jump into the campaign. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so here we are at the starting screen. Let's just go ahead and launch this, and we're going to be using some custom settings. I am going to set it for the exact same difficulty that me and Heitzmeister have been playing this at, because it seemed like it was a pretty good setting for us, so I thought it would probably work good for here as well. There we go, just double check to make sure I got the same settings. I'm having to look at the original YouTube video just to make sure I got this copied exactly. Though, what does hard difficulty look like? Okay. Knightsmeister said to try to keep the growth factor to like 100%, otherwise you're just going to get spammed with a bunch of crap units, and we don't necessarily want that. This was set to 0.075, this was set to... Okay, and this we will take down to 0.75 like we had it earlier. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious of what these different settings look like. Anywho, let's go ahead and launch. Here we go. Alright. So, I'm just going to quickly scroll through this so you guys can read it. And we're going to pause this. Alright, so let's take stock of what we have here real quick. Radar station, mining rigs, mining, radar station, okay. And this Canton class we probably don't need, we'll bring that in closer here. What is this, radar station? Okay. I have some radar balloons that I want to use for this, and also I think I want to redo the mining rigs. Let's have a quick look at those. What kind of efficiency are these things running at? Because I think I just might do my thing where I just like build up something from the surface of the water. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. So, let's talk about my plans for this. And yes, that is my name there. I did help a bit with this. Anyway, we're just going to dive down here. And while I'm doing that, I want to try to go to war with Austria-Hungary first. Oops, come on. Nope, that's not working. Anyway, yeah, Austria-Hungary first, because they are kind of the Deepwater Guard faction, for lack of a better description. Come on. No. Why can't we just simply put down a structure? There we go, that works. I think against the Austro-Hungarians, I'm going to go pretty aircraft heavy because they seem fairly vulnerable to that. And I believe aircraft startups are usually pretty good to go with. At least that's been my experience. Now let's see here. We want the... No. Ah, here we go. You guys probably remember this thing. We're just going to slap a couple of them guys there. And let's delete this thing. Yep, we're going to take down that mining. Something I have thought about doing here, and I'm not quite sure how I want to go about it just yet, that I might look at destroying, deactivating some of the resource zones while doing this campaign. I didn't even know that it was a thing till Heitzmeister showed me during our multiplayer Finest Hour run. So I'm kind of thinking maybe like for every faction I destroy, I will deactivate 2 resource zones, something like that. I think that's pretty reasonable. Maybe it'll help get the AI a bit more of a fighting chance, because it just seems like a lot of times what happens with these campaigns is it's just really easy to snowball it. Alright, and we're going to scrap that thing. There we go. That's got us a bit of material to work with. I think I might take down these radar stations. I don't know. 4K materials, that's... And actually, it might honestly be not worth messing with. Okay, so let's see here. Back at our main base here. Let's go ahead and come over here, and we're going to load in some things. First off, I want a double 734 Mark II. Actually, I think I may want a few of them. These are just loads and loads cheaper than the spy satellites, and they're faster. Basically, they're just radar blimps. What else do I need here? I want, actually, I probably want 4 of those, and then I want... Because these double 734 Mark IIs, they should be able to scout and take over tiles at the same time. They're actually very, very fast, but since they're very, very cheap, I'm not too worried about losing them either. I think I would like some Led Zeppelins too. Alright, so we're going to pull all. I want to scrap this guy, because, yeah, I think that money would be better spent on other things. Okay. So I think I'm just going to pause recording here, and then we're going to start, well, I'm going to start trying to grab some territory. I probably should have waited on the Led Zeppelins, to be honest, but that's okay. Alright, so I will be right back after a bit. So we are now starting to capture some territories. As you can see, the double 734s are a lot faster than the satellites that I was using, and they have extremely good radar coverage that I think I'm definitely going to be able to take advantage of. So we're going to directly head south here to take over this tropical trench. I believe there might be another capture point way out here, but I don't quite exactly know where it is at. I'm going to start... Oh, there it is. Good. Though, I think Japan might beat us to the punch. But man, would it be nice to have that. But we're going to have to go for this guy first. I'll try moving out there to get it, but I don't think I can make any promises of actually being able to grab the silly thing, so we'll just have to wait and see on that. So let's go ahead and get our supply line set up. And that's the cargo. And we'll have you come back here. There we go. I think that should make it go into a loop here. I haven't really messed with setting up supply lines very much, mostly just because I just kind of delete whatever I'm sending. Well, I'll send the transport unit out there, or no, actually, I'll spawn the transport unit wherever the materials are at, and then whenever they get to their destination, I'll just despawn it and build another one right on top of where I was just gathering materials from. That's how I usually like to do it. That's probably not going to make some sense to some people. That's okay, it doesn't have to make sense. And probably by the time you guys see this, I will have had my tutorial video on building cheap and fast material transports. I think a lot of people are going to benefit from that, and you guys might be shocked to see just how very little you need to build a transport. I personally like to have them with custom jet engines, and mostly the reason for that is if you have them moving fast enough, then they won't ever need an escort. Something like 100 meters per second, that should outrun about 90% of the stuff out there, maybe 95. Just kind of throwing a number out there, but yeah. So it's something I think a lot of people could benefit from. And a lot of what war really is just having the right weapon at the right place at the right time, and it's no different with supplies, honestly. Okay, so yeah, we want you to keep everything, and I think I got that set up correctly. Good. And I think I might want to throw together another transport here for that place to the south. So let's go ahead and bring in one of those. These Led Zeppelins, I think I might redo them. I think I can do better. So that's something I'm kind of looking at. So somewhere down the road I may redo Led Zeppelin just to make them a bit more speedier and efficient, because these things are only moving at like 61 meters a second. That's still going to outrun a lot of stuff, but I just prefer more speed. And honestly, speed is like a very, very good commodity to have in From the Depths, because whatever you cannot fight, whatever you cannot fight, you can usually run away from. And I feel that being able to dictate when and where you strike is a huge strategic advantage. And not everyone's going to agree with that, and that's fine. Whatever. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. And very good. So I'm going to need this to take some materials, albeit very little. Yeah, these are just barely using any materials, getting to and from where they're going. Actually, I'm thinking it might do me better to just have it a bit shorter like this. There we go. So I'm thinking I want to try to make the most use out of what time I have before the council meeting. So I'm going to try to scoop up as much of these tiles as I can before all hell starts breaking loose. And like I said, I want to try to go to war against Austria-Hungary. It's over here. Up here, this is where Germany is. And up here, Viva Italia, or Italy, Japan. Over here is the British, and down here is the United States. I'm wondering if J-Dog has been saving this area for the French, because I know that's something that they've been kind of working off and on for a while. Anyway, I'll bring you guys back in once I got something to show you. Okay, so Japan looks like they're definitely going to grab this guy. We're going to get close, but not as close as I'd like. But they start like 3-4 tiles away from it, and we start like 4 or 5. So yeah, but I'd at least like to try to get up to the doorstep of it, so that way we could try to cap it later down the road. I've been trying to kind of put in a buffer zone right here between me and the Italians. That's what this little corridor here is going to be. I did put together a little fleet of planes, and I'm basically just setting them out here because like I said, I was wanting to go to war with the Austro-Hungarians first. So yeah, that's what's going on there. I would like to have some surface vessels in this, but we don't quite have the materials for that right now, unfortunately. Oh, this guy isn't. I keep forgetting that these guys had to be at like their maximum height to be able to get good radar coverage. From what I have seen of Italy, though, they really seem to like their aircraft, but not this time around. It seems like they got a bunch of warships out here. Look like possibly some cruisers over there. And what do we got over here? The Americans look like they're wanting to try to take some territory too. That's fine. Oh, and we did get this resource zone under our control, so that's good. So yeah, we're just trying to capture what territory we can. So that means we got 4 resource zones under our control. So pretty good start. At least I think it is. So yeah, I think we're all caught up now, so I will bring you guys back in once I got something else to show you. Alright guys, so I have started producing our first ship here, a Hellenbeck Destroyer Mark II. I think I'm going to put it up here at this border, because I think just the aircraft alone, they should be able to wreak a lot of havoc over here. I'm kind of tempted to send a medium bomber out there as well as part of this air group. We'll just have to wait and see. So you are definitely going to need some materials before you head out, yes. Alright. We'll bring him to about there. Let's see. I think I need to build a bomber here. So let's go ahead and load one in. I think I need, if I can remember the name of it, I think it's a Rust in Peace, yeah. Okay, there we go. Rust in Peace, medium bomber. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. That's not what I intended to do. Okay. No. We wanted that start to build up here. There we go. That's a very easy error for a lot of people to make. Let's see here. Where's our Rust in Peace Mark II? Or Rust in Peace, I guess. Yeah, I got enough to build one of these, that's fine. Okay, Paul. This guy, it works an awful lot like the original Firestorm heavy bomber, but it's not nearly as heavily armed. But I think for our purposes, it'll do perfectly. We're just going to try to harass this ever-living crap out of Austro-Hungarians. I did not mean to do that. There we go. And do you have materials? Yes, you do. Very good. So I'm going to put you with this air group way the hell over here. And we're going to start, when war finally breaks out, we're going to start sniping whatever we can out here. I'm also thinking it might be a good idea for me to get another Led Zeppelin. just so that way we can have some material haulers out there to do repairs and whatnot. All right. We are getting very, very close to the meeting, so I think I'll just let the video run till we get there and just kind of talk about my plan here. I want to see if I can try to get closer to this. It's going to be... I'm probably not going to get that close to it. Honestly, the British are probably going to get to it before I do, but if I can just get a little bit closer to it, that'll go a long ways to us capturing this later, because that is a pretty insane amount of material right there that it can produce. I was wanting to try to bring in one of those Rourke's Rift ships, the light cruiser, but I don't think I have the materials to be able to pull it off right now. Depending on how things go up here, though, I may send an anti-air cruiser up here. It just seemed like when me and Heitzmeister were playing this, we were getting a lot, and I mean a lot of action from, well, a lot of aircraft, I mean, from the Italians, so that's, yeah, that's something we're going to try to do. Let's see what all is in this group, actually, real quick. I see... That's an actual ship right there, and that's a plane. Okay. I believe that's what they are. Or is that a bomber? I don't know, it's really hard to tell. Altitude says it's probably a bomber. Okay. Maybe that's a squadron? Yeah. I noticed that the squadrons kind of spawn in like groups of 7, thereabouts. Depending on how this goes, though, I may want to send a some fighters up there just to kind of hold the line. Because if the Italians do anything like they did during the multiplayer LP, then yeah, I probably need a lot of anti-air cover up here to the north if they happen to attack. I also did a bit of a test play just to see how well I was doing on my own, and it honestly seemed like I was doing all right. One of the reasons why I'm kind of leery of the Italians up here, though, is when I do my test game, it seemed like the best option for me to go to war with Austria-Hungary would be to also be going to war against Italy. So I'm going to see if that happens again. I feel that that's probably going to be the case once again. The AI is somewhat predictable. And we got just a little over a minute now. Let me see how long this video has been going. Just like 32 minutes. That's too bad. But I think I will wrap it up once we finally declare war. I want to try to keep these videos around 30-ish minutes. So yeah, a lot of times I speed up the videos like by 15% just so that way I can try to squeeze a bit more content into them and not like make it sound like I talk with a chipmunk voice. I just figured the algorithm might like it a bit better if my videos were a bit more concise. That's kind of something I'll never understand, is that freaking YouTube algorithm. It's like trying to hit a target, a moving target at that. Now let's see what we got out here. Emma Spahn, okay, and that is a Zenta, whatever the hell that is. These are probably like light cruisers and destroyers, maybe torpedo boat out there. And that's kind of all I am seeing as far as surface craft. I have been trying to keep some 734s up here so we can start using them to capture Austro-Hungarian territory here. And here we go. So let's have a look at our options. I am not going to war with Great Britain, no. But that's not very good. The KUK. Next meeting in 2 hours. Actually, yeah, if I can attack the Austro-Hungarians without having to worry about the Italians, yeah, I'm going to jump all over that. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And let's confirm that. And we'll continue. All right, guys. So let's pause it there. And let's, we'll start up about our plan here next time. So if you like what you've seen here today, please let me know with a like, comment, or even better, subscription. Have yourselves a hell of a day, and keep your armor high. Later.